That's the hood where I'm from. But it's bigger than that. We live on a planet, in a solar system, in a universe. Not just on a block. Be aware of that.
It's a go. King 2 here. We're out for comments in history. You already know what time it is now. The Batman. This was going on. A disgrace. You know what I'm saying? This was the worst movie I ever seen. I mean, like, they violated. What they did in that movie was just like, yo, you took away Batman. I don't care about the spoilers no more. I don't care about the plot, nothing. Like, if you want to hear the plot, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to run it down. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just running down what they did to Batman. You know, this is off comics history. We love stories. We love the inner stories of the movie. I couldn't even get into the story. The story ain't even right. I'm saying I can't even get into that. I'll leave that alone for now. I'm talking about Batman. Now, we grew up with Batman. We read the comics. Yeah, they tell you, oh, yeah, we got it from Batman Year One, and The Long Halloween. Yeah, I read all 3 of those comics. Those was great comics. This is a bad movie. If they would have took some of the real parts of those comics, the movie would have been way better. You don't have Batman that's not ready to be Batman. That don't even make no sense. I mean, Batman is a thinker. You know, he has gadgets. He actually has a utility belt. You know, a functioning cape. I don't know what's going on here. Like, the guy is like, doesn't have nothing. He walks around like he's the Terminator. It's like, what? He has no stealth. He has no plan. He has nothing. It's like, I even seen a part where he was running and he like, it seemed like he was scared of heights or something. It's not right what they did to Batman. You know, we grew up with Batman from 1989. Michael Keaton, great Batman. They talk about, oh, yeah, he's a detective. Newsflash, Batman been a detective in every single Batman. Every single Batman, he was a detective. Every one. It still don't take away from him being Batman. Matt Reeves, that was arrogance. You know, this is Batman. The whole saying is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. This is Batman. You're supposed to make Batman on point. You're supposed to make Batman a thinker. Not some weirdo, like a drug addict or something. I don't know what was going on there. What was going on? Then you have him but then Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is clean. Bruce Wayne is a billionaire. He's clean. He's fly. You got him running around looking like average guy on the street. This is not right. This is not right. I don't want to start with Riddler. Like, what was that? You didn't even have a face-off between Riddler and Batman. You were just online the whole movie. Like, what? He never even seen him to the end. It's like, what is this? He went against the whole grain, like Batman. You know, in 3 hours, the plot was just, where is his electronics? Where is his planning? Where is his strategy? And now I don't, like I said, I came into this, you see my last video on Batman. I came into this ready to go. On DC side, ready to see a great movie. This is not Batman. He doesn't even have to be in this movie. This is not no Batman. It's a process that he had to go through to become Batman. You know, he had to deal with the loss of his parents. You know, he had to get his own issues in order. He had to learn the neighborhoods, the streets. He had to train. He had to get his electronics, his gadgets up, get his mind ready, get his suit, get all the things he needed to become Batman. It's like the complete opposite. He just threw on the suit and now he don't know what he's doing. What is this? This doesn't make no sense. Well, this is DC for you right there. DC doesn't have no oversight, doesn't have nothing connected to everything. It's just making movies for money. It does not equate. It does not. How are you gonna do a Batman like that? That's not even a Batman. He's not. Robert Pattinson, he was terrible. He was walking around all stiff. I heard the best parts from Robert Pattinson was when he was quiet. He was just staring at people. Like it's just like, what's going on here? This is not right. You're not going to destroy Batman. I'm not letting this happen. I'm going to blast you. Every chance I get, I'm going to blast DC. I got a problem. I got a problem with DC. Y'all have no universe. Nothing. Y'all have the two biggest superheroes in the history of comics in your corporation. Batman and Superman are the biggest. Why? When you got the two biggest superheroes. You know why? Because you're so corporate. You have no insight to the people. You're just doing anything, making all these movies and calling it the multiverse. Doesn't make no sense. You have to have a universe before you have the multiverse. You have no universe. How are you going to go right to the multiverse? The whole plot it don't even make no sense. You just watch it what Marvel's doing and you're trying to copy. You're not Marvel. You're DC. Dark Comics. Do what y'all supposed to do. Y'all had Zack Snyder. He gave y'all a universe. But you didn't want it. He made great movies. Movies that make people think. You know what I'm saying? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Shazam and who cares? Blue Beetle, I don't know, who cares? Like I don't care about these things. I don't care about none of these things. You have no universe. You have nothing. This Batman was terrible. He didn't even have a utility belt. What's going on? He doesn't face off against villains? What is this, a Zoom call? He getting Zoom calls now? This is Batman. I don't care where he's at. Batman's gonna find him. This guy doesn't even have enough sense to even find nobody. He got shot at least 1,000 times in the movie. Because he just walks into places. Like, I'm here. They just open fire on him. It's like, what is this? That's not Batman. Batman has a brain. He strategizes. He is stealth. This was a terrible movie. A terrible movie. The action scenes was just like ho-hum. He never even was around Riddler. So we had to wait basically 2 hours and a half, 2 hours and 45 minutes just to see Batman and Riddler on screen together. And don't even start with the Riddler. This guy was like some accountant that was sneaking up behind people and hitting people. I mean, it was like he would hit you the first time. I mean, and the person would just be, oh, I'm hit. Let me just keep getting hit and die. It was just like corny. I mean, it's just he's hitting people with trophies or something. Like it's like what? Like he was actually more stealth than Batman. He was hiding in places, sneaking up on people. Batman wasn't even doing it. Batman. Like, I mean, it's like Matt Reeves never read a Batman comic, never seen nothing about Batman, and just had his own insight. Those comics they so-called got this movie from, that's Batman. I mean, I don't understand. Like in Batman Year One, if he would have ran the whole origin story, yeah, it would have been fire. Him trying to stop somebody and stop some criminals, and he got almost beat to death. And then he had to go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, yeah, I gotta reevaluate myself before I come out in the streets. Yes, it would have been a great plot. We had a 3-hour movie, and there was no origin story on Batman. Nothing. Year 2, what happened in Year 1? What's going on? It's like I grew up with real Batmans, real scenes that you would see a scene you'd be like, oh my God, wow. I was in a packed house Thursday, packed. Every seat was filled. We was excited. Let's go. I was excited. Got there, made my little video, got in that movie theater, excited. Next thing you know, first part of the movie, I already knew what it was. I was in the trailer. It's like they reshot the trailer. When Batman beat that guy up, when he got that guy on the floor, he hit that guy about 6-7 times. You know, when we heard about Robert Pattinson becoming Batman, immediately, you know, everybody was like, oh, no. They destroyed Batman. They killed him. But then when we seen that first trailer, and one of the Joker's guys said, who are you? And he beat blood out of this guy. Threw him on the ground, and he hit this dude about 5-6 times on the ground. And right then and there, I was like, yo, he ain't playing. That was a message to everybody, to the world, that Robert Pattinson is Batman and he's not playing. He's not playing. There's no games here. So immediately I'm like, oh, it's a go. He's not playing. He's Batman now. Let's go. But, I watched the movie now. I see the pot coming up. I'm like, okay, yeah, he about to do this guy in now. It's over. He about to get him down the ground. He's vengeance. Let's go. And they reshot it. He gets the guy on the ground and hits the guy like once or twice. Like, wait a minute. He wailed on that guy on the ground. They reshot it. So immediately I was like alarmed, like, oh, what's going on? That wasn't the scene I seen in that trailer. So I'm just like, and then from there, it was just like, a whole hour and a half went by and I was just sitting there like, hold on. The man was riding around in a motorcycle with a wild mask on, or the whole movie basically. He wasn't even Batman or Bruce Wayne. He just riding around in a motorcycle. It was ridiculous. Then the car was basically a regular car with an engine in the back. It looked like the car from the 40s and the 50s. Like, yo, this was supposed to be 2022? Huh? And your car looked like that? We got Batman from 1989. You see that Batmobile? Like, what? I remember Jack Nicholson as the Joker. I'm 41 years old. I was about 9-10 years old when I seen this. And I still remember it like it was yesterday. I remember Joker having Kim Basinger at the museum. I remember Batman coming through that roof coming through that glass ceiling and pointing that grappling gun at Joker's face, and it split in two. You know, when he grabbed Kim Basinger and he flew off. And the Joker looked at that and said, I gotta get me one of those. That was great cinema. You know, great cinema. They ran outside. See, everybody seen that Batmobile for the first time. It was like the crowd went crazy. You know, crazy. You know, everybody has iconic scenes. You know, going back to Dark Knight, how they showed you the origin story of Batman. They showed you where he got his training from. They showed you, you know, where he got his utility belt from, his cape, his car. His mentality. I remember he was in the car with the girl, a Two-Face girl. And she said that you don't know nothing about the people. You're rich. You isolated. And Batman said to himself, you know what? She's right. I'm a rich billionaire. I don't know nothing about the people. So he became homeless for 7 years to live with the people. This is real cinema. Real origin stories. What is this? He had to go through a process to become Batman. But once he became Batman, he was ready to go. He didn't have to go through any more processes. He didn't have to learn on the job. What? Batman, with prep time, could take down a Superman. What? This ain't right. And you got everybody, oh, it's the greatest Batman ever. How? He's not Batman. How? It's not Batman. I don't know what it is, but it's not Batman. You get nothing out of the movie. Nothing. I sat there for 3 hours. The crowd sat there with me for 3 hours. We ain't hit not one cheer, not one clap. It was like a funeral in there. I literally had to turn around and look. Is everybody still in it? They was in there. People was going to sleep. All types of stuff was going on. Like I said in my other video, I had to use the bathroom. I never get up to go to the bathroom. I don't care what's going on. I would sit there and hold it and watch the movie. I got right up, used the bathroom. This was a terrible display. Matt Reeves. And the thing about it is, a lot of the scenes that was in Batman was basically in the Planet of the Apes. And the shooting scenes in the dark, all type of stuff. All that stuff was in the Planet of the Apes. It wasn't nothing original here. The tunnel scenes and all, it's just not right. You can't fool me. You can't fool me. This is new Alpha Comics in history here. You're not fooling me. You're not. That's a terrible movie. I've ever watched the Justice League, the first one. Not even Zack Snyder. I watched that one before this. I watched the Batman and Robin and Batgirl before this, because it was Batman in it. He was Batman. This is terrible. This is the worst Batman ever. Does it have room to improve? Yes. Because it was terrible. The part 2 could be way better, because he has nothing to work on. He can make Batman way better. But this movie right here is terrible. Terrible. Oh, Riddler was an accountant, and oh, you want to kill everybody now because you was an accountant and you seen some dirt. Like, it doesn't make no sense for him to run around doing this. In Catwoman, it was like, okay, what's going on with her? Like, it didn't make any sense. Her part didn't even make no sense. It's like, I'm trying to figure something out. Like, what was good about the movie? I mean, the Penguin, he was good, I guess. You can build on the Penguin. But everything else is just like, what? Then the whole time, it's like they had this like QAnon type of environment. Like he was on the internet, had his following, it was like some QAnon stuff going on. Like he had a whole team of people. But you never knew none of this until the end. We had to watch this movie for about 2 hours and 45 minutes just to see his whole team. You're supposed to have this whole team running around. It's been classic how it's supposed to be. Batman facing off against Riddler and his guys. I mean, what you forgot? Like, this is what's supposed to happen. This ain't right. This is not right. This ain't right, man. DC, what are you doing? What is your universe doing? Y'all the worst. The worst. Warner Brothers is the worst. They need to give up DC, period. Sell it. Sell it to Marvel. Let Disney do it. Let them do both. Because y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all don't have no idea what's going on. Nothing. Your anime is great. Great. But your movies are horrible. Horrible. If you're taking Zack Snyder out the mix, that means that you're done. You're done. Man of Steel was a great movie. Batman vs. Superman was a great movie. People at first didn't understand it. But when you look at the plot, you're like, hold on. It was a great movie because Batman was in it. And Batman, was an older Batman that let the city get to him. It was a plot there. He didn't respect nothing no more. Everything was bad and evil to him. Superman was a problem because he felt Superman could destroy the world. And that's a fact. Even Ben Affleck had his iconic parts. Running through walls with that Batmobile. Chasing down all Lex Luger's people. Dodging missiles. I mean, it was crazy. He had all types of electronics in that Batmobile. That part was fire. Then he turned the corner and seen Superman. Powerful that Batmobile was. Running through brick walls. Running through everybody. And then when he seen Superman, and that Batmobile hit Superman, that Batmobile flew. Superman runs over there, pulls the top off the Batmobile. Batman stands right up. Like, let's do it. I don't care if you're Superman or not. Superman was talk this, bat symbol's over, and you're dubbed, it's over. Batman looked at him and said, do you bleed? You understand? This is Batman. No fear. Robert Pattinson is not no Batman. Christian Bale. That's Batman. You understand? That's real Batman. What is this? He was clumsy. He had no strategy. You're talking about he was a detective. What detective? What? Newsflash, like I said, he was a detective in every movie. Where did he get his electronics from? The little electronics he got, he was basically in a subway. Like, yo, a subway? This ain't right. DC, you ain't right. And I'm telling you right now, every chance I get, I'm gunning y'all down. Every chance I get, I'm gunning DC down. Gunning y'all down. You ain't right. You ain't right at all. I don't even care how long this video is. They're not right. Because I'm going to show you real Batmans. Real Batmans. This is not... this don't have anything to do with Batman. Nothing. No origin stories. Nothing. Then we got Joker at the bitter end of the movie. Like, it does not make any sense. What happened year one? So we watched the movie for 3 hours. Don't know nothing. Nothing. We got nothing out of that movie. Then you got all these YouTubers, oh yeah, the greatest. I wonder why they're saying that. It's crazy. Wonder why. It's like me being in YouTube now. I just see the propaganda now. Before, on the outside looking in, I just watch YouTube. But now, I see the propaganda now. It's crazy. Because if you're watching that movie and you say to yourself, this is the greatest Batman movie ever, something is really wrong. Something is really, really wrong. Because, first of all, Batman didn't have a utility belt. He didn't have any technology, any gadgets, any strategy, no stealth, no nothing. I mean, so how could you say this was the greatest Batman ever? How? He was not Batman. He was clumsy. I mean, he literally, when he was running to jump off the roof, he stopped. Like, oh, got himself together. Finally jumps off the roof. You're like, okay, now I'm like, okay, I got a part now. I got a part that's okay. He's flying through the air. Okay. He's out of control. He runs into a bridge or something and falls on his butt. Like, hold on. Is this Batman? What is this? Was that the first time he did that? It doesn't make no sense. None of this. Batman is basically flying through the air in every movie. Every comic. He's airborne, basically. You got nothing. The man was riding on a bike with a mask on, with a helmet on, for most of the movie. That was most of the movie. He wasn't even Batman for most of the movie. He was Bruce Wayne for like one part. And if you've seen his Bruce Wayne, like, the man looked like a bum. Like a bum with a suit on. He just put a suit on for the funeral. It's like everything after that was just like, you knew what was gonna happen. You knew a car was coming. Like, the trailer had all the action scenes in it. So you knew when the action scenes was coming up because you seen the trailer. It's like that was the only trailer I watched too. I didn't want to see nothing else. I didn't want to hear nothing else. But yet I watched that one teaser trailer and I knew everything that was gonna happen. Matt Reeves, get him out of there. They talking trilogy. Get him out of there. Oh, all these Easter eggs. Forget about the Easter eggs. You destroyed Batman. I don't care about nothing else no more. See, I would have been going with the Easter eggs and going with the... No. If Batman was right, Batman is not right. I'm 41 years old. I know Batman. This ain't Batman. So if you're going to see this movie, just know one thing. You're not going to see Batman. This is not Batman. He doesn't have a clue what's going on. He doesn't. And DC definitely don't have a clue what's going on. I'm gonna listen. It's over. It is over. Get a universe, DC, first. Then you can get a multiverse. You're trying to go straight into the multiverse. It's going to be a disaster. Look what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring back Michael Keaton, a real Batman. Doesn't make no sense. You got 19 Batmans. For what? What is Robert Pattinson even doing here then? Doesn't make no sense. DC doesn't make no sense. Like, you should just stick to anime now. Don't even make no more movies. Like, I'm not even anticipating nothing now. Nothing. Not one DC movie I'm anticipating now. Not one. What, Black Adam? What? Who cares? Let me see a Superman movie. Why don't you get Superman right? Zack Snyder got him right. That Superman before Zack Snyder makes Man of Steel was, what? What are y'all doing? Like, Superman Returns? Like, what was that? It's like, it's no oversight. Y'all need to hire somebody that knows the comics, knows the people. Marvel had to do it too. Marvel was making the same mistakes DC made. The same. Until they hired Kevin Feige. They have to get somebody in there that knows what they're doing, that knows the people, that's going to give somebody, when you go to see that movie, like, oh my God, this is a horrible, horrible movie, man. I think I'm straight. Like I said, this DC, you out of here, straight up, man. That's all I gotta say, man. King 2, out.